this up out of here. Big on World Star Hip Hop.
Hmm.
Hold up. Hold up.
All right, so
No.
we live. What's going on, good people? I'm Arya the King.
I'm Big G, the bearded one.
Listen, this is the Geek Salad Podcast coming to you with a special Juneteenth 2 edition of the
That's
Geek
right.
Salad Podcast. Now, 4th of July. Listen, if you celebrate the 4th of July, you know, I'm not messing with you. I'm just saying, me personally,
Mhm.
mind you, personally, this is Juneteenth too for me. Because my people weren't free on the original 4th of July, 1776. So I don't celebrate the 4th of July. I celebrate Juneteenth too. I'm grateful for the day off. Me and the family gonna get together. We're gonna actually celebrate my grandma because her birthday, she was born on the 4th of July. We'll throw something on the grill. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna hop in the pool. We're gonna have a ball. But you know, happy Juneteenth too.
There
G,
you
how you
go.
doing, my brother?
I'm good. I'm good, man. You know what? I don't celebrate per se the what was done to us and how we're being portrayed all over the place. But the one thing that I can say about 4th of July yesterday was the fact that, everybody was minding their own business, a couple of, old white folks that I thought might have called me the hard ER, but man, cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, okay, white man, cool. I'm cool with you. You know what I'm saying? You showed me respect. I showing you the same respect back. And to me, that's what the fourth should be. You know what I'm saying? It's
Sure.
it's it's supposed to be the independence of America from the Brits back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, a whole lot of history happened. And then to now, it's hey man, just chill the fuck out, eat some burgers, some glizzies if you want to. That's up to you. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your day off and just chill. Mind your business. Pop some illegal fireworks. Depends on what state you're in, and have fun. To me, that's what the fourth should be about, instead of being so indifferent to where you're from, who you are, etc. But overall, man, pretty good. I'm tired, but I'm good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we both tired, bro. I feel you on that. Yo, and note to that, to add to that, eat your glizzy in peace, man. Don't
Exactly.
listen. Don't let
Exactly.
these podcast bros, us not included, because we bros with a podcast, so we're not podcast bros. Eat a glizzy, man. Eat you a hot dog. I'm not even calling the glizzy, man. I'm not from New York. I'm from J. Nigga, that's a hot dog, okay? Eat you a hot dog. Have you two of them. You don't gotta go hide in a corner. You know
Question.
what I'm saying?
Question though.
Look, hunched over, like making sure ain't nobody looking at you. Eat your hot dog, man. It's
But
okay.
but there is glizzy etiquette though. There is glizzy etiquette. Like, I can understand if you, take a, nice size bite with the
Yeah.
glizzy, but if this is the size of a glizzy and you eat the joint from here to here, my boy, I got
Egregious.
questions.
Egregious. Egregious.
I got
You
questions, bro. Like,
just,
you almost killed glizzy in
you
one
just
bite, my bro?
just
Come
one
on,
bite.
man.
Yo, okay. Okay. We not listen, you don't gotta hide your glizzies, man. It's just a hot dog. Just
Yeah,
eat your hot dog, enjoy your hot dog.
yeah.
There's a two bite minimum though. We put in two bite minimums on the glizzy, man. Because if you just eat a glizzy in one gulp, I'm just like it.
I got
Unless
questions.
listen,
That's it,
unless
man.
you was
I
a
got questions.
competitive eater, and I just
Right,
say no about it.
right,
That's the only excuse for a grown man to put a whole hot dog in his mouth in one bite. That's ridiculous, man.
right.
That's it. That's kind of ridiculous.
But yeah, man. But we have a lot to talk about. Uh, Clearly, Young Miami has what is now the song of the summer when it comes to our culture and hip hop, R&B, rap, whatever you want to call it. Spin that. When I first heard the song, I am paying no mind, but the more and more on my side, the more and more I go to like different places, I'm seeing that overall people love the song, right? I do feel some type of way that kings, that not kings, but kids singing it, it's it's so weird to me. But then again, man, I was in middle school listening to Luke. So who am I to really, wagging my finger at the
But
kids?
that's the thing, though. You shouldn't have been.
Of
There should have
course.
been
Yeah.
some, and not even on you. I'm saying there should have been some adult that was like, you know what? This is music for a certain
Mm,
demographic, a certain age of people.
right.
Let's say for middle school kids. No middle
Oh
school
no.
kids should be
Oh no.
listening to Uncle Luke back in the day, Lil Kim back in the day. None of that stuff. Now, if you sneak around and listen to it, we can't do nothing as parents. But I'm,
Right.
I'm saying your parents shouldn't be cool with you, and I think that's what the issue, one of
Yeah.
the issue is.
So, Young Miami was at the BET Awards, and which, by the way, I think this year they did a lot of things right with the BET Awards. I only have a couple of critiques. I think Drewski did a good job for being like his first time hosting an award show. And I think he would get better over time, but overall, good show if you ask me. But she came out and she was going to present an award, and the crowd was singing her song, which is a good look. Her being a part of the City Girls, now being single on her own, and her no longer being involved with Diddy because that was her thing for a while, being Diddy's joint or whatever she was to him. So ultimately, NERE, just responded. And for those that don't know, NERE is a early 2000 artist,
Hmm?
I want to say.
Early 2000 soul artist.
Soul artist. And she has songs about Black beauty, don't be ashamed of what you look like, just this really positive, cool joints, you know what I'm saying? Somebody, had a tweet about, hey, this song is pretty much just terrible for the culture, and she kind of agreed with it. And then we start to see everybody jumping out the woods like, yo, you trash, your music was never as big enough, you're just jealous, so on and so on, right? Just being bashed. Even Young Miami's producer remixed her song along with Spin That, just this trolling. So how do you feel about two things? How do you feel about people you know, either picking or rightfully criticizing Spinda? And how do you feel about NERE's just observation of the song and our culture with songs like this? Now, mind you, Spinda isn't really that bad of a whatever what she is saying is not terrible compared to the other songs over the past 20, 30 years that we have heard. It ain't like F the Police. It ain't like WAP. It ain't like any of Little Kim's songs. It ain't nowhere as egregious as any of them. But what do you say?
Couple of things. First and foremost, I would say the only thing that's going to save not just Black America, but America in general is Jesus Christ. Come back to Jesus. Or if you never were in the camp, come to Jesus for the first time.
There you go.
That's first and foremost. Right. Second, I will say this. Eric, and this is something I've become more at peace with as I've gotten older. I didn't understand it when in my 20s and 30s, but now in my early 40s, I understand it. Everybody ain't gonna make it. Everybody, everybody ain't gonna make it. And for India Ari to say what she said about a song that literally is a anthem for people who steal and scam, right?
To spend money, to spend it,
Spend it. If you are
spend
a
that.
scammer, if you are a
Hmm.
booster, meaning you take from department stores and different places, you steal from them and then you sell, you steal the Louis bag that costs $1,000 or more, and you go sell it for like, $400 or something.
Hmm.
If that's what you want to do, okay, cool. But this is an anthem for y'all. For her saying that this is not something that we should really be uplifting, this is not the type of music we should be uplifting.
Hmm.
where does the controversy in her saying that come from? It's like the fact that there is any controversy against that, it just lets me know everybody ain't gonna make it. And you know
Mhm.
what? That's cool because how can you recognize real if it wants some fake? You know, if it
Mm.
wasn't any fake, how could you recognize the real? It's like, and I'm not even, because I always throw a way to throw a shot at Drake. I was thinking about it earlier. Thinking about it earlier in the week. Has Drake ever said anything meaningful about being a black man, either Canadian black man or an American black man? I don't think that
I
he
mean,
does.
I think the
Or
closest was God's plan. That might have been the closest.
has Drake even said that he's black in a song? I like.
Yeah, I'm a dark nigga. That's
I've
that's
heard himself a nigga a bunch of times. I've heard him call other black dudes niggas. I don't
um,
know that I ever have heard him call himself a black man or even make a
yes.
song about the black experience in general.
He
But I
doesn't.
he
Good
he
point.
don't do it,
Good
and
point.
that's not even really throwing shots at Drake. I only
Mhm.
use Drake as an example because Drake is such a popular artist. He's not unique in that. There are a lot of black artists who don't do that. Drake is just like at the top. You know what I'm saying? Similarly, the Young Miami song is at the top of the charts. It's like you said earlier, it's the song of the summer.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to go and reach and talk about some random song from some local neighborhood rapper who never made it. And his song is also denigrating black people and uplifting crime and uplifting the worst of black society.
Mhm.
Cause he don't got the hit song. So I'm not gonna say nothing to him. But you
Mhm.
got people saying, like, hold on. How come she's saying something about this Young Miami song, but
Mhm.
she ain't say nothing about Future? She ain't say nothing about this artist. Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. Are we acting as if there haven't been people who have been speaking out against violence in rap music since rap music had violence in it for the
Oh
first
yeah.
time in
Yeah.
the 80s?
Mhm.
This is not nothing new. It's not nothing new. So the thing that gets to me and the problem I have with it is number one, this isn't the first time somebody has spoken out against ignorance in black music.
Yeah.
But even if it was, why is your excuse to why this song is cool that you didn't speak out against another song? Like I hate that. So like what if India Ari
Mhm.
was the first person to ever speak out against foolishness in black music? What if she was? Then what excuse are you going to use?
Right.
I say this and I get it over to you.
Mhm.
Because then another thing that people will say is, well, it's just music. It ain't that deep. And you know what the funny thing is? It is just music. It ain't that deep until your son is locked up for boosting some stuff. Your son gets locked up for scamming. Then it's like it's a problem. Then it's free Ray Ray. Then is we got to get the t-shirts made.
Right.
So I'm not
Right.
saying listening to a song is gonna make you do anything, but I think we're being disingenuous if we act as if music, unlike movies, TV shows, stage plays, don't impact us in a different way.
Right.
Music is deeper. Music is
Yeah.
deeper. Can you
Yeah.
imagine Kendrick Lamar and all his pro-blackness if it turns out he was a like a Uncle Tom? I mean, Uncle Ruckus,
Mhm.
Samuel L. Jackson's character from Django level
Mhm.
Uncle Tom. You can't
Mhm.
tell me you wouldn't look at Kendrick differently. But
Devastated.
exactly. But I look at Samuel L. Jackson, who played that role in the Django, and then I could look at Samuel L. Jackson. He could be in a freedom, playing an abolitionist, and I would believe both. Like you know what I'm saying? Because it's acting. It's understood that he's playing a character.
Mhm.
Music is deeper than that, or it's supposed to be, and there's supposed to be more authenticity in music. So
Right.
it's a little bit deeper. But
Yeah. So, all right. This is my thing when it comes to our black music. It's I fall on both sides of the fence, right?
yeah,
Of course, me being older and me having kids and me, you know, being a part of the culture where we heard some of the worst songs, like the songs that came out in the late 80s, early 90s. These songs that are out now, they don't even hold an ounce of weight to what we were privy to back in the day. I just bought Snoop Dogg's first album, Doggy Style, on vinyl, right? And I'm playing it. And some songs I might have forgot, but the songs that I remember, I was like, yeah, I can't believe I was what 13, 14 playing,
Listening to that, yeah.
sneaking to play this joint. You know what I'm saying? And when you're young, you know, a lot of the songs do have some type of an impact on you or of an influence on you, and it happens. It happens, man, because that's music is very powerful and conveying feelings and shaping minds to a degree. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I can understand how, us being older, we know we can feel like, this song or songs like it, are really ratchet, really raunchy, really ghetto, whatever adjective that you want to use, could be a detriment to our culture and how other people view it. Because, our culture, man, it's so powerful. It reaches, the world four times over. You know what I'm saying? And it's like a lot of us uplift the negativity and downplay the positivity when it comes to our culture, right? That's one side of the fence. Other side of the fence, like I said before, when I first heard Spin That, I was like, it's garbage, get it out of here. But when I'm out and about, I'm seeing how, people react to it differently. Even some of the older folks dislike it because, it's a groove to a degree,
Mhm.
like if even if you don't.
It's a catchy song.
Yeah, like even if you don't pay no mind to the lyrics, you at least know the hook, the beat, and it's catchy. Very,
Yeah.
very catchy. You can't deny that. And we have heard other songs that are extremely worse. Like, remember WAP, Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion. And, that song was so dangerous. Even the likes of like Fox News was like, oh my God, this song is teaching on young girls to be overly sexual, which,
I
it
was,
was,
I said I'd
I
agree with
can't
that.
I
And
can't believe
I
I'm
would hate to
agreeing
agree with Fox
with
News,
them,
but
but
it is what it is.
yeah, to a degree, exactly. It is what it is, but it falls under the family tree of, these overly explicit, raunchy songs. You know what I'm saying? And to the people saying like, but why didn't any already talk about um, uh, my booty hole brown, whatever the case may be, by Sexy Red or WAP or
Yeah.
whatever song out there that was extremely raunchy or just extremely ghetto, and people talk about it. That's the thing, and we're going to keep on talking about it. I would love to see our culture, just having more of a balance. Like at least point out, like, yeah, this song is, mad wild, or just it's fun, but it's low vibrational. In the same vein, hey, we can still jam to a song by a newer artist with some, cool elements of just no more everyday living or some positivity. Like there's got to be a balance, but it's so much just raunchy and ghetto and positivity. It's like down to my feet from where I'm sitting at my desk right now. But I just want, I guess, to sum it all up is a balance. That's all. Just a balance. And we don't really get that as much in hip hop these days. It's the drill, it's the overly sexual joints, and then it takes a big artist like a Kendrick to make something that was, somewhat positive to to kind of like cut through the noise. But
Yeah.
that's once every few artists that we have that.
I think it's a symptom of the degradation of society in general. Not even just in the black culture. Like we see it in the black culture because we're in the black culture, but I look at it like this, man. There was a time where black folks in general, um, let's just go back to like this in the 60s or whatever, right? 50s
Hmm.
and 60s. I think they carried themselves with more class. Now,
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
had to obviously because racism was super heavy at that time,
Oh yeah.
and it still
Hmm.
is today, but you don't live in fear of somebody, burning a cross on your lawn in most places in America 2026, where 1960, you couldn't even mouth off, to the wrong white person. You might end up getting your whole family strung
You're
up,
right
right?
about that. Yeah.
But I feel like even aside from the racism, we know that won't good, but in society, like black people, they just had more class. Like if you was leaving out your house, you don't go outside any kind of way. You don't got to put on a three-piece suit, but fix yourself up. Make sure your hair is nice. Like look presentable was a thing. Shame was a thing back then. There was
Mm.
actually a such thing as class. And even going forward to like in the 80s, man, you look at a TV show like The Cosby Show, which, we're not gonna get into the whole Bill Cosby thing and everything that he
Ooh,
allegedly
buddy.
did. But let's
Hmm.
just let's focus on the show. Claire Huxtable, beautiful, smart, classy, never had to be half naked on the screen to present and elude confidence. You don't see that now. It's
Hmm.
like where is the pride in being black? It's like there's a place and a time for pretty much everything, but like where's that pride? And I look at somebody like India Ari who has put out music saying, love your hair, love your complexion, love what it means to be black in this country. You know what I'm saying? You are descendants of kings and queens. You're not just niggas. You know what I'm saying? And that's a positive thing. That's a good thing. The thing that about that really got to me was a response to it. I don't know if you
Mm.
heard Trick Daddy's response to it. Even
Yeah.
Gilly from $1 million Worth of Pod,
Hmm.
$1 million Worth of Game podcast said some derogatory stuff to India. I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all coming at India Ari, the sister that's telling you to love your blackness, but you got smoke for her just because she said that maybe a song about stealing stuff and maybe a song about scamming people and doing things that's gonna get you in jail, a jail in a place where we already half of the population in there. We all know it's like the second coming of slavery for real. The prison, the educational to prison pipeline is a real thing. Like we know these things. And
Hmm.
all she said was, if you like it, cool. But maybe there's better things to listen to. Maybe this should be a song. That's cool, freedom of speech. But maybe this should be the number one song. Maybe this should be the song that when they play it at the BET Awards, everybody go crazy. She was just saying maybe. And
Hmm.
for that, Trick Daddy called her all kinds of hoes and
Yeah.
bees. I'm like, yo, seriously? And you look like you look Trick, like seriously. And I don't wish this on Trick Daddy. I don't wish him any ill.
Uh,
But you look like you about to check out in the next couple of years, bro. I mean,
mm.
seriously, like you look at his face. Like, look at his face now, and look at his face 15 years ago.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not just that he got older. He don't take care of himself. You can tell he don't exercise. He's not eating right. He's probably drinking a lot. He might not even be here that long. You, you gonna be the Negro to talk about this queen because
Hmm.
she's saying something that's actually positive to the black. Like seriously, you? All
Right.
right, cool. It brings me back to my very second point. First point was we all need Jesus. Second point was we ain't all gonna make it, bro. So you got to do for yourself. You got to do for your family. Try to do for your community, like your
Yeah.
neighborhood, your surrounding area.
Mm.
Do what you can. Be the positive light. Be the change that you want to see. But understand, everybody ain't gonna make it.
I'm
That's
trying to
all I
think
got.
of. I'm trying to think of this. It's like what's crazy, man. So many people profit or they get empowered by our culture, and it's not us.
Not even to mention that part. Not even to mention that these songs are being sponsored by people who don't even look like us. And they just laugh into the bank. They don't care if our society burns down because they going to get paid. When
Mm-hmm.
those drill rappers were doing what they was doing,
Oh
making
man.
diss songs against the ops, insulting them, there's a white dude to get paid after all of that. Kanye told y'all that in the early 2000s. And it's like, what?
History repeat
I
itself,
don't think
man.
there's enough outrage for the fact that you got 55, 60-year-old white dudes bankrolling 19 to 20-year-old black dudes who are making music about murdering other 19 to 20-year-old black dudes. And I mean literally murdering. I don't mean like the rapper who ain't really living the life, who just make up a life because it's more entertaining.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking
Yeah.
about they're actually in the trenches in Chirac, and they're talking about the names, actual names of people who have been murdered, and
Mm-hmm.
speaking ill of them, knowing that's gonna anger the other side, and the other side gonna take out some people on their side. And it's just
Right.
non-stop circle of just black people killing black people. And a
Mm-hmm.
white dude is bankrolling the music behind it.
Yeah, but that would be a discussion for another day, because that's a deeper, darker criminal link right there. It's yeah, it's
Diabolical.
yes, to sum it up, man, it's all diabolical, but to put a button on it, man, hey man, you know, if somebody speaks out about a song that they don't necessarily like, the it's a shame for the reaction is to call somebody out their name of B's and H's. It's like it was an opinion of a song. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't. A lot of people, if you feel so offended by her comment, that's just more about you than her comment itself. So it's deplorable. That's the word today, y'all. Deplorable. But anyways, man, let's go on to another spicy subject, boy.
Ooh,
Another spicy race
spicy.
stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Spicy.
But you brought to my attention that there was a Facebook group
Oh, yeah.
called I Love Being White. And there's an actual like an application to get involved with the group. And I guess, I'll say this before we get into the topic. Listen, however you're born, white, black, gray, blue, gay, straight, pans, trans, wherever the case may be, love yourself. There is nothing wrong with saying, I love being this. I love being black. I love being white. There, that's, there is nothing wrong with that. What I feel is when you take that moment to be like, oh, I love being black, but everybody else could burn to hell because I think I'm the superior to everybody. Or white folks, hey, them monkeys can't stop chimping out. I hope they all go back to the jungles. It's like
Mhm.
that has nothing to do about how you love yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can love yourself, love your people, and not demean anybody else. That's my thing. But with this group, again, you brought to my attention. There's some other things behind this. So I'm gonna let you take this course.
Yeah, so there's a Facebook group. I don't know how long the group has been out there, but the name of the group is I Love Being White. And it's exactly what you would think from a group called I Love Being White on Facebook. And I don't know how, and I don't know when. I don't know, like maybe some black people set up a fake account, what have you. Anyway, the Negroes got into it. And when I tell you the comments have been hilarious, them going onto these racist people's own group page and trolling them nonstop. It's like Black Twitter invaded the group. And it's just the funniest thing. Interestingly enough, and the thing I think is most interesting about it is some of the people who made racist posts in the group actually didn't bother to hide their profile behind something fake, or
Oh,
maybe not include a
oh,
profile picture. They was just
yeah.
like, I'm white and proud, and this is my fact. Like, they was all just really showing who they are.
Boy.
So now it's going to be a very interesting Monday morning, because what happened is a lot of screenshots have been downloaded
Ooh,
and
not
sent
good.
to employers,
Mm.
of said racist white folks.
Mm.
So the fallout from this group being infiltrated, we're going to start to see it here in the next couple of weeks. And I'm here for it. I love it. I love when people put their bigotry on Front
Yes.
Street and think
Yes.
there's no consequences,
Yes. Hmm.
and then the consequences come.
You know what's funny? That reminds me of this story about this detective, this lead detective, right? I guess he was, and it was in the news recently. This is a chick named Karen Reed. I think she was suspected of killing her husband, something like that.
Mhm.
As she somehow, some way, got a hold of his text messages that he was sending to either people, some of his friends, right? And he was saying some wild things about her, but then it goes about how he told one of his cop friends, like, oh, there's a monkey that got involved in an accident, but don't worry, you don't gotta come. Take your time. And he's a cop saying this. And
Wow.
then the lawyers was like, yo, this guy said this about my client. Just imagine what he was saying about other clients. And his phone was caught by the feds. And they were about to, like, just delete everything once they were done with the case. The lawyers saved it. And dog, he had so many racist joints in his phone. Just had a picture of a young, like, 2-year-old girl in a cage with like two white girls, around, and he was like, man, I wish all these monkeys could look just like this. And it's like, dog, is it safe to say that being a racist is a mental thing? Because it's I I find it hard to believe that you had this much disdain for mainly black people.
Mhm.
And it's like, maybe you only come across this type of a person in your job. So you just group everybody together as one thing. Like, I don't think all white people are racist. There's a lot of white people that still have that mentality, but I don't think my neighbor Frank, who is white Italian, you know, we chill every other weekend, but you never know what people really are until they get behind social media or in their text messages, and you never know what their feelings truly are. And it's like, dog, man, it's a shame because it's like, man, here we go, getting deep again. But it's
Listen.
just, man, it's like, why why do black Americans around the world get so much hate? It
Mm.
it it
I
dog,
could, you know what? I got a
it
theory.
kills me, man.
I got a theory, man. Because I don't know how true it is, man. And this is just one of the theories, but the stereotype is that the black man, is blessed in certain areas. That's the stereotype. I don't know. I ain't going around pulling down random Negroes' draws, so
Right.
I couldn't tell you if that was a true stereotype or not.
Yeah.
But imagine being a white dude and just thinking that all the time, right? Because this is what your daddy taught you. Now you in high school and you got a girl that you like, but she want the captain of the basketball team, the 6'5" brother named Umar. You know what I'm saying?
Get a
So
wet
now you
shot.
got this whole thing that, like, oh no, the girl that I want, no, she wants Umar Umaju, because he's not even just a regular American black dude. He's like from Africa,
Yeah.
like he from the
Yeah.
motherland, like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's all of these insecurities being played out in real time. And to your point, I think it is a mental illness when you let somebody ruin your day just for existing. Like that
That's
has to
wild,
be
man.
that
Yeah.
that's like, if it weren't for the fact that they were such jerks, I would almost feel sorry for them, because
Hmm.
it's like, I can't imagine. I'm comfortable wherever I'm at, bro. I don't care if it's a room full of white folks, it's a room full
Hmm.
of black folks, what have you. I'm comfortable in it. I'm going about my business. I'm there to do whatever I'm there
Yeah.
to do,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna leave and go home. But can
Mhm.
you imagine being in a movie theater and it's 100 people there? 97 of y'all is white, but it's three niggers in there. You just like, You can't even enjoy the film. You eating popcorn mad. Who eats movie theater
Right,
popcorn mad?
right.
You just look. You can't even look at the movie. Just look at him.
Yeah. Oh, why they here
Just
breathing
look
all
at
over
him.
white air? Just
Just
oh, it's
taking it
just
all in with their big nostrils. Look at them. If
all
I
the
had
good
my
dance
way,
moves, taking all over white women. Yeah, man. It's yo, it's wild, man.
it
Cause
is
it's
wild,
like,
bro.
listen, to anybody out there, man. Listen, a lot of black folks mind their own business. You know, mind their
Mhm.
own business. Go do what we do. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, man. And here's the real kicker, dog. We are the minority. People triple us like what, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, something like that. We are the
Yes.
minority,
It's
but
only like 30 out of a country of 300 million people. We only like 30 or 40 million of the country, like 10%. Like 10%. And most of the rest of the people is people that look like you. But you mad at the 10%.
dog,
Man.
it makes no sense to me, man. It
Yeah.
makes no sense. Period, man. But yeah, so for the people that are being ousted and being in this white group, doing the most, just hey, I am all good with those that want to spill their tea, want to dox them, or because if any of these people hold jobs where they're in front of, you know, any facing job where you have to interact with people of all diverse backgrounds, you deserve to be fired because I don't trust you to do your job without being biased. If you're a nurse, if you're a cop, if you're a first responder, if you're a doctor, a dentist, just any job period where you have to be in front of people and make like life changing decisions. Get out of here with that BS, man. You don't apparently you need to be a part of this job. Like I don't want racists to have these type of jobs because clearly they're going to have a bad day and make a decision which is going to uproot somebody's life. So yeah,
I
man,
think
they got to go.
this is one area because it's many areas where social media is a detriment to society, but this is an area where social media is definitely a net positive
Yes,
because
yes.
any person, it don't matter. You don't even got to be a famous person. If you got a story to tell about somebody who is racist, who's verifiably racist, it's easy to put their information out there as far as where they work and put pressure on the company that they work for to say, you know what? If this is the type of person that you employ at your Burger King, that's not a Burger King that I'm going to be coming back to. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be you rule at Burger King. I don't feel like I rule with them.
Mm-mm.
I don't feel that way.
I
So
can't
go
have it
ahead and
my way.
fire that
You know
man.
what I'm
Fire that
saying?
man.
Yeah, man. But I mean, hey, man, people just gotta do better, man. A lot of people just a lot of people really just mind their business. A
Mhm.
lot of people just mind their business. Now, there are some of us as well as some of others that do some stuff, and you're like, come on, brother or sister or white man, whatever the case may be, like, yo, do better. Just do better. Make better decisions. But we know, some people don't have it all up here. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. But for the majority of people, everybody just mind their business, go about their lives without no dramas, and then just keep it smooth. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that's all I gotta say about that. But I'm gonna tell you who's not gonna have a smooth time. Superwoman, Supergirl.
Supergirl. Man.
Listen, this is the
Mm.
second movie under James Gunn's new DC role. And Superman was fun. It was cool. It made enough money, just to kind of, I think they either broke even or, got some profit out of the movie, right? But this one, he went on the book saying like, "Yo, we got to make this movie because of the script. The script is so good." Now, I've seen the reviews. I don't know of any spoilers just yet. I still want to see it, but my man REA has seen the movie, and what do you say, my brother?
Well, I gotta say what I gotta say about it. Let me ask you a quick question because G, you are a fan of comic books. and you've been a fan of comic books for over 30 years. Over 30 years. You got knowledge,
True.
comic book knowledge. Same with
Yes.
myself. Fan
Hmm.
of comics over 30 years. Don't read as much as I used to read, but I still got that core. And
Oh yeah.
part of the reason is because superheroes is cool. Especially like when you coming up, you young, you think, Superman is cool, Wolverine, Batman is cool, right? Then another part of the reason in the 90s, they told us these comic books was worth some money. So we started collecting comic books in the 90s. Like, you know what, nigga, I'm
Yeah.
about to be straight. You know
Yeah,
what
it
I'm
was
saying?
a
Still got my
boom, man.
collection to this day.
Hmm.
But let me ask you this. And
Okay.
you haven't seen the movie, right?
Right.
And I imagine you read some reviews, but you ain't read all the reviews that's out there.
Nah, nah.
Do you know who the villain is of this movie?
There we go. Um, that was what I was trying to figure out. I was like, who? It, honestly, whenever I saw the trailer for Supergirl, to me, it just felt like an extension of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Now, with that,
Okay.
I wanted to set that up.
Yeah.
Again, a combined 60 plus years of comic book reading and comic book loving experience betwixt the two of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
He don't know who the villain is. He hasn't seen the movie yet. I haven't seen I've seen the movie, right? I still don't remember the villain. That's how
That's bad,
forgettable
man.
the
That's bad.
villain
Hmm.
of the movie was. And the thing about it, think about the greatest superhero movies, which really they're just action movies, if we're being honest. They're
Yeah.
action movies that just the
Sci-fi
guy
action
or girl
movies.
just
Yeah.
happens to have superpowers or they wear a cape. Other than that, it's just an action movie, right?
Hmm.
Um the greatest movies have the greatest villains. It's the greatest movies have the greatest villains. You think about
Facts.
Winter Soldier. The villain's name is in the title.
Right. Right.
You think
Now,
about Avengers, Thanos.
one of the
What
best.
threat is great enough that
Hmm.
you gotta not just have one or two heroes like a hero and a sidekick go and save the world. No, you had to pull together a team of a god, a giant green rage monster, a super soldier from the 40s that was frozen for 60 years. You had to bring him back to life. You had to get a wizard. You had to do all of these things to take down Thanos because
Yeah.
Thanos was a great villain. The
Oh yeah.
villain in Supergirl is forgettable. I don't even remember his name. And
Hmm.
that's problem number one with the movie. The
Shame.
villain was trash.
Shame.
Problem number two with the movie, the
Hmm.
co-star of the movie should have been Lobo. Because Lobo was probably the best thing that happened in this movie.
Yeah.
The one of the roles that I would say Jason Momoa was built to play.
Yes.
He looks like
Born
Lobo.
for it.
I mean, boy, it's like you got Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds.
Exactly.
Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool, like in real life.
You're right.
That's him. He wrote a lot of the movie.
Yeah.
Like he
Robert
is
Downey
that guy.
Jr., Iron Man. They
Perfect parents.
the same. Right.
Jason Momoa, surf dude, long black hair, loves to have fun in real life, loves
And
to
loud.
drink,
Yeah.
fun loving guy. Fun
Hmm.
loving guy, but still a big dude. He's like 6'3", 260. You wouldn't want to mess with Jason Momoa unless you knew how to fight and you was also big. Big guy.
Hmm.
That's Lobo. Except, he's a bounty hunter. He's got powers, but personality wise, it's like this. Lobo should have been number two in the movie. He should have
Hmm.
co-starred with
Yeah.
Supergirl. He didn't though. The
Ah,
co-star is a little girl, and she does a decent job, man. But it's just this random little girl who's just going through and just kind of like on this mission for revenge because the bad guy kills her parents at the beginning of the movie. And that's the co-star. So she got all the heavy lifting that Supergirl isn't doing, where you will be dependent on the co-star. The little girl is doing it. And I'm like, she's not an interested enough character to be the co-star of the movie. It's like the co-star could be this random little girl, or the co-star could be an intergalactic bounty hunter. Which of these makes for a more interesting story?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's the intergalactic. Like, come on, bro. But
Okay.
those were the two biggest mistakes that this movie made. And it's like at this point, I'm just like, y'all learn nothing from superhero movies that don't do well. Because I think it's kind of the same thing with the Marvels. The Marvels wasn't terrible at all. The Marvels was good. Well, I wouldn't say it was good. I would say it was okay. But a big problem that the Marvels had was a forgettable villain, and Supergirl does that same thing.
Yeah, I like the Marvels, man. Like
It was cool.
it was fun. It was
It was
fun,
cool.
man.
It had its moments.
Um, so let me ask you this as well, right? So
Mhm.
I'm seeing a lot of people giving the movie flack as well, of the music choices in the movie and like
Yeah.
certain scenes. Is it really that bad or unnecessary when they drop?
I think the needle drop moment that they talk about at the end for like the finale. The song choice was not a song that I would have chose. I think that was a big miss. And because James Gunn has so often hit that component of movies out the park with the Guardians of the Galaxy
Yeah,
movies,
he
it
did.
was kind of
Yeah.
shocking. But it is it's a song, bro.
Hmm.
I was more concerned with, and the thing that got to me more was the fact that sometimes some of the CGI didn't look that great.
Okay.
Some of the cinematography wasn't that great. You talking about song choice, bro? I feel like when Allen Iverson was talking about practice, you talking about practice. Talking about a song, like it's not that big a deal.
Okay.
Like of the
Okay.
all the egregious things and the places that this movie misses, that's like way down on the list. Like you're talking about
Mm.
one song and one scene. Like people are just looking for something to
Yeah.
complain about.
Okay. Let me ask you this then. So, seeing that this movie didn't do so hot in the box office,
To put
right?
it lightly, I think it made like 60 million and it cost 170 to make.
Ooh, that's not good. Cause rule of thumb is that a movie has to make twice of its production budget to make a profit.
Yeah.
So if it only did 60 in its first week,
It didn't even
is
make that's like
do
a
you think there's
third.
any chance that it will make more money as time goes along?
No. And the biggest reason is because for the same reason that a movie like Obsession, which we'll talk a little bit about here soon,
Hmm.
for the same reason that it opened at a certain amount and then as word really got out it really skyrocketed. It's the opposite with these big budget movies. It's like so much depends on that first weekend and whatever Rotten Tomato scores it gets and what the online people, the tastemakers are saying like that very first week. That's going to set it up. It ain't gonna be like, okay, they trashed it right before it came out. Then it
Hmm.
came out and didn't do that well. Then all of a sudden, people are just going to be like, you know what? Forget what everybody else says. I want to. Nobody doing that. Not for a big budget movie like this.
Right.
But the opposite can happen. Like it can start out, something can start out small, but maybe the reviews is really good. And
Yeah.
then like it's a
Yeah.
slow swell. And then all of a sudden, after maybe a couple of weeks in the theater, it takes off, kind of like a Obsession did.
Hmm.
But I don't see that happening with this movie, man. I think it's too
Mm.
many reviews out there that completely break down why this movie isn't that good
Yeah.
for that to happen.
Okay. Another question then. 'Cause again, I didn't see the movie. So, uh, how do you think this will affect James Gunn's stay or his creative output at DC, which is now about to be Paramount?
I don't think it's going to impact him much because James Gunn, I think he just executive produced this joint because he's
Hmm.
the head of DCU, but he didn't like direct it or nothing like that. I don't even think he wrote it. He didn't
Okay.
write it or direct it. And on top of that, I don't think it's going to impact them because they're not going to stop making hero movies because hero movies this is the thing about it because everybody's like anytime a hero movie comes out and it
Hmm.
don't do too well, people are like, oh well, superhero
Yeah.
fatigue, blah
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. Man, people tired of
True.
capes.
Hmm.
You know, like I don't think so. Because the thing about it, superhero movies didn't start with the MCU.
Oh,
They've been
nah.
making
Nah.
superhero movies for as long as they've been making movies. It's
Hmm.
just that the MCU started doing superhero movies very,
Right.
very well.
Yeah.
And because they were doing them so well, it didn't just make its money back and maybe make a little bit of money. You're talking about some of those Avengers movies and movies like the Black Panther, billions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? So those movies aren't going anywhere. They're the new standard for action movies to the point where the action movies that we had like in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s were like, you know, Jason Statham was in his, in his hay. It's like Jason Statham and like Arnold Schwarzenegger even in the
Yeah,
80s and 90s, The
yeah.
Rock.
Sylvester, yeah. Oh yeah, all of them, yeah, for sure.
All of those movies, they don't have the same cachet as hero movies do because hero movies, unlike any random Jason Statham movie where he plays another profession, like I feel like every Jason Statham movie is just him a profession.
Yeah,
The
he plays.
beekeeper, the
No lie,
driver,
he plays the same role for the past 4 or 5 movies now, and he's always an ex-cop, an ex-marine, an ex-special services, an ex-assassin, an ex-CIA. It's always ex-MI. He's always an ex something.
and then it's
Trying to
a
do the right
regular
thing.
person occupation, the banker,
Right.
the McDonald's employee. This nigga Godfrey said he gonna star in a movie in 2029 called The Librarian. He gonna be a librarian. I thought I told you to be quiet. So, but it's like these are just the new action movies
Yeah,
now, and I think the
yeah.
hero movies they have an advantage over those old fashioned type action movies in
Mm,
that everything is interconnected. So even a movie like Supergirl, there's going to be at some point in time Superman's going to show up or there's going to be something linked together. So now Superman shows up at the end of this movie. They have a
right.
little dialogue. And whenever Superman 2 comes out, she's going to have some part of that. So it's like it's the shared universe and it gives you the same experience that you get watching your favorite episodic show on like
Mm,
Netflix. You
okay.
watch one episode of a really good show, and you know how it be. You got to be to work at 8 o'clock the next morning. It don't matter. You up to 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, man.
I gotta finish the season. One more episode.
Yeah,
You kind of
yeah.
get that, but you get it with movies because the
Mm.
hero movies are interconnected instead of it just being a standalone action film.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. So let me ask you this question then before we hop off to the next one. So apparently, it's going to be a Clayfish movie coming out. And I know you don't watch trailers, but for this joint though,
I saw that one though.
you did. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
because I was
okay.
at the movies. Yeah, I saw
Okay.
it.
So
Yeah.
it looks like it could be a little bit horror-esque. It might be in the Matt Reeves Batman verse. I don't know. We shall
Yeah.
see. But what do you think about them doing this movie? And then there's supposedly supposed to be a Bane and a Deathstroke movie. I think it would be a dope idea to kind of give the villains their shine because you can almost kind of paint them as like the
Like
antagonists,
anti-heroes.
the anti-heroes, but they're still evil. But
Right.
it's like they got a reason that you could kind of understand
Yeah.
behind it. I think that could be a cool way because, prime example, the Penguin TV show, my
Hold
goodness,
on,
it
what
was
TV
good.
show?
The Penguin,
The Pink. Oh, okay.
the
All right.
Penguin. It
Yeah.
was like, I mean, the Penguin, he's a sleazeball, but you found out why he's a sleazeball. And then, there are moments where you're like, damn, I kind of like this guy. But then he does something that's so diabolical. You're like, nah, forget him. But then he does something else. You're like, okay, that was a good move. He does another terrible thing. You know what I'm saying? So I think it would be smart of them to kind of carry that on to really like just make it different from Marvel because at this point now we don't really know which direction they're going to until we get this Avengers movie, which by the way, we still don't have a trailer for this movie. And it's coming out in December. And
Mhm.
it's July now. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's usually like 3 months. It's 3 months before the movie
But
come
it's
out.
the
You
but
really
this
get
is
trailers.
yeah, but this is me being selfish. But it's the Avengers, dog. You know what I'm
It is
saying?
the
This
Avengers.
this is Marvel, they be kind of, getting a little
But hold on,
on
ain't
social
that a
media.
reason though? Ain't that a reason for them to not have a trailer early because it is the Avengers? And you think about the Cadillac of superhero movies.
Right.
I think you want to keep as much under wraps as possible for that movie. Like you can't do no trailers. You can't do a Beyonce. You know, Beyonce just drop an album and
Yeah.
it still gonna go super platinum or whatever. I don't
Right.
think you can go that far. But I think if it's one hero movie franchise, it can be like, you know what, we're gonna wait till the last possible minute before we get anything out there,
Hmm.
just so there aren't as many plot leaks. You know,
Okay.
it's for
I
the
get that.
Avengers.
I get that. Yeah. I mean, there is a rumor that a good portion of the script has leaked online.
I think I heard that
But
too, bro.
yeah, but I
And
don't want to even
I've been
touch
staying
it.
so far away from it. So far out. I
Yeah,
don't want
man.
nothing,
I'm
no
like
parts of
this
that.
close from taking off Twitter because yo, Twitter be trying to spoil things. You're like, no, I don't want to know about this stuff, man. Just get it out of my feed, man. But
I don't understand people that like spoilers for big stuff like that. I don't mind a spoiler for something I know I'm probably not going to see.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
no harm, no foul. You know,
Hmm.
but if it's something that you actually are looking forward to, like the new Avengers movie, why would you want to know what's going to happen before it happened? Even if it's just half of the stuff being spoiled.
Yeah, yeah.
You got half of the movie.
Hmm.
Come on.
I mean,
I'm
I can
using my
see
high
one
voice
part
in
of
these
it
streets.
because people want to read something and they don't want to see something like, oh, they about to do this, but this sounds stupid. And sometimes whenever that happens, there might be reshoots from it, like I'm thinking, maybe somebody did it intentionally because they saw where the script was heading and they were hoping that if it leaked, then maybe the Russo brothers can, make it better. That's how it could be in one sense, but yeah, but I think overall though, man, Peter Gunn is he's fine. This is just every studio has a movie that doesn't perform its best, and it all depends on how they bounce back. But I'm gonna tell you this much though, this much, that movie Inception, dog. Right now it's right now you could buy it online or rent it. Son, this movie has grossed. This is crazy, man. This movie has grossed over $403 million worldwide on a budget less than $1 million. I gotta give it up because that's son. And this is from a director who has a YouTube channel which I follow called Bad Idea. Funny guys. They're funny, man.
Shout out to
But
Curry.
Robert Curry, man, he's the one that did he write it and direct it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, son, this kid became a millionaire overnight. Now, I'm hoping that the studio, kind of break bread with them. Like, all right, we want to keep you because clearly, clearly, you get a good touch. You get a good post on the zeitgeist of what young folks go to. You know what I'm saying?
Big
So
words. I love it. Big
there
words.
we go. Yeah, man. But pretty much, man, this movie has shattered the 53-year-old record that was held by Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon for the highest grossing film under $1 million budget. That's bananas.
Man,
That's bananas.
I'm trying to think of because I am a fan of scary movies. I I want to say I only like good scary movies, but I don't. Sometimes I like bad scary movies
Oh
just
yeah.
because it's so
Yeah.
bad.
Hmm.
You know, because it's just like, yo, this is when you have a character who makes the decision, like you could get in the car and just get away from the bad guy. They're like, no, I'm
Yeah.
tired of running. I'm
Right.
like, it's
Or
kind of a supernatural killer. You might want to get
or
away.
or the slasher and the scream queen falls in the woods. It's like, why are you falling when you're trying to run away from this killer?
Yeah.
Why? Why? Look in front of you. That's all you gotta do. Just look
Or
in front of you.
or this one. It's five of y'all running from this crazy deranged supernatural killer. Hey guys, let's split up. Because like there's never been, I tell you this,
Yeah,
there has
man.
never been a group of black people who were facing mortal danger, and they decided, like, you know what? Let's just split up to get away from this one white dude chasing us. Black people will do like the X-Men. We banking this dude.
We
We
jumping.
jump him.
We jumping.
Jump him. Just hands and feet. Hands and
Right.
feet. That's all. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
Like, he
man.
gonna have to take all of us at the same time. Pause. Because that's
Mm.
ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
Ridiculous. But Obsession, man,
Hmm.
so well written, so well acted, and so well shot. It is a genuinely
That's it.
disturbingly good movie,
Yeah.
to the point where I want to see it again. I'm not going to see it again. I'm not. I'm not one to have nightmares from scary movies.
Uh-huh.
Never had a nightmare from. Well, I'll take that back. I had night when I was a kid,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
but
yeah.
as an
Yeah.
adult, no. As soon as I walk out that theater,
Nah.
I'm just like, oh, that was good. That was trash. Whatever, and I'll
Right.
forget about it. But Obsession, no, I'm
It's
not,
different.
because I don't want that any deeper in my mind. But it was executed so well. The way that they shot um the main character's face when she kind of had her change. If you
Hmm.
notice, like they did tricks with the lighting, so you could never, their face was never lit. Like that's something
Yeah,
in
yeah.
TV, movies, whatever. Whoever the star is, you gotta have their face lit. If you don't have their face well lit, they just kind of blend in with the background. But
Hmm.
like they was so masterful in shooting it like that. I was like, wow. And then the one scene where she's in the bedroom, like he wakes up and she's in the corner,
Yeah,
and you
man.
don't see, you don't even see her because she's off to the right of the camera. She's not dead center where the
Hmm.
subject would normally be in cinematography. She's in the corner, and I'm like, bro, it was, and it's so many moments like that. Only three people died in the movie.
Yeah.
And two of their deaths was pretty quick. Like the
Hmm.
dude, he took some pills, he ends up dying, and the one dude gets shot. That's two.
That was
And then there's
quick.
one really gruesome death
In the car.
in the
Yeah,
car. I
man.
was like, oh man, that
Yeah.
part was so heartbreaking. But she was like the one that he
Spoilers,
could
by the
have
way.
really got with. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then it's like I didn't even think about some of this stuff really until after. Bear was the bad guy. He was the bad guy.
The movie is called Obsession, and it wasn't a one-sided thing. It was Bear also was obsessed with her. Like he couldn't let her go, even though, and you know what's funny too? Kind of like a sidebar. There's a small group of people that don't like it, and I think they don't like it because they
Because
can't
it speaks to him.
fathom not that, but
Okay.
they can't fathom the fact that somebody like a bear is such a punk that he won't just tell the girl that he likes them. He needs a crutch in order for it to, in order for that to happen. He can't be honest with himself. It's like, dog, I understand. Maybe you was a man back in high school, back in college, but there is plenty of people that are just losers, like
Sure.
Bear, who get the same type of mentality. Like, I like this girl, and she's throwing me all of this action, but I don't know how to receive it. So I'm going to, self-pity myself to not even approach her the way that I want to. I'm going to keep it up here. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And there is tons of people like that, but some people just can't fathom oh, why he can't be a man. Like, hey, some people are not
Everybody ain't. If everybody was brave, then nobody would be brave.
that's it. And
Just
then
like if everybody's rich, nobody's rich.
right.
Same difference.
And the fact that this girl is showing some of the most craziest behavior,
Yeah.
but he can't walk away. Why? Because he's also obsessed with this
That's
girl.
another. That's another thing. I shudder to think of another time in a horror film where, because usually the bad guy is fleshed out immediately. The bad guy is Jason. The bad guy is Freddy Krueger. The bad guy is, the serial killer that's out there. But
Hmm.
usually you know fairly early on who the bad guy is. At
Right.
the very beginning of Obsession, when he makes the wish, She becomes obsessed with him. At that point, she hasn't even done anything yet, but you know it's the crazy is coming because it's
Yeah.
the type of movie this is. You know, she's killing somebody. Like we don't know who she gonna
Hmm.
kill, but she's
Right.
killing somebody, right? But at no point during like the first, let's say 20, 30 minutes of the movie, do you feel like anybody's going to be the bad guy other than her? But then there's a point in the movie where Bear realizes that the little twig thing he twisted that gives you a wish is real. And the wish that he made actually comes true. He realizes it, and instead of trying to get her some psychiatric help or taking her to a church and letting them put holy water on her or whatever. He don't do that. He
Hmm.
still kind of go
Yeah.
even to the point later on in the movie where she's sleep. The crazy version of herself is sleep, but then the real her kind of wakes up and she's whispering because like I don't want to wake up the crazy version of me, but
Hmm.
look, it's real. Kill me,
Yeah.
like, and he just like mind you, he's about to go out his house and go talk to another girl that he kind of has a crush on. On top of that, instead of dealing with it right there and saying like, "Wow, I need to get this girl help," he says some stuff like, "Is it that
Yo.
wrong to be with me?" I was like,
Yo. Yeah, man.
"Yo, you know what I like." To your point too, I
Hmm.
like how it shows that just because somebody is a person who's part of a marginalized group, and no matter what group it is marginalized, if anybody can be a bad person from any group, even a marginalized group. And just because a group has been picked on, traditionally, doesn't mean that that person is automatically good. I liken it to that person in high school who was a nerd in high school,
Hmm.
couldn't get no girls, people joked on him all the time. But then he got out of high school, went to college. Okay. He
Hmm.
started lifting weights. He got his teeth straightened out. Now he's getting attention from women. He learned how to dress. And
Hmm.
instead of being like, magnanimous, that's my big word for the day. Instead of being magnanimous and be like, I know what it's like to be ostracized and you know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
I'm gonna be chill. Like the girls is all on me, but I'm cool with it. I'm not gonna get a big head. They get a big head, and then the nerd girl that flirts with them and is attracted to them, they're like, oh, get out of here, you nerdy, and mush them. It's like, nigga, that was you 4 years ago. And you don't have no shame in being that shallow. That's who Bear is. Bear ain't nothing. He's a piece of crap. But you don't see it until like halfway through the movie. And
Yeah.
you get a second bad guy in the movie.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. His like, and then I'm hearing people like, oh man, that the acting in this is horrible. I'm like,
Who said the
man,
acting was
I,
horrible?
I don't know what y'all are watching. Prime example, right? I'm listening to the guys on the Joe Budden podcast, and
Oh,
nobody
they
there,
talked about it on a Joe Budden podcast?
nobody liked it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Man,
of the writing, the acting, like they gave no sense of this was good in it at all, right? And then that's why I'm saying, like, I'm like, I think the reason why they didn't like it was because they can't fathom the thought that this guy couldn't pull the girl without the witch stick. You know what I'm saying? They can't understand why Bear was so passive because in their lives they were the man in the young lives. They
which
can
is stupid though,
they
because
can
even
pull
if you
something.
that guy, you gotta know there's other guys is not that guy. Like how you don't
I think because
that's
they
weird.
they they never been that type of guy who's been like ultra passive. They can't understand the mentality because you know what's crazy? When I was in the movie theater, I was in there with a bunch of young people, and they
Yeah.
loved it because I could hear them saying like, "Yo, she's trying to give you some play, dog." You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and then and then me, I was once the passive dude. Girls used to throw it at me, but I was so in my head like I'm not worthy of them, or I'm
Mm.
not worthy of myself. I would like play it, so I can understand a mentality of someone like a bear, where it's like this girl is like, yo, straight up, do you like me? And he was like, as a friend. But it's like, dog, she is giving you the lane to say how you feel, but you're so afraid of losing that friendship, you default to your default settings. You know what I'm saying?
Trying to
With
save you and spare your feelings.
right, trying to spare your
Yeah.
own feelings. So this movie Obsession just captures all of it, man. And then once he get what he has, like dog, to this day, man, when she was like when she was in the corner of the room, you couldn't even see her, but you could hear her and the funny movements, man. It's like that was one thing. And then when she taped the door with duct tape, dog, I'm like, fam, if that ain't a sign right there that she crazy, do
Well,
something. Go. But what does he do? Like most people do in a toxic
he just doubled down.
relationship, they stay and they
Doubled
try to
down.
deal with it, and it's the worst mistake. And you know, he doesn't fully grasp what can be done until the very end, and he offs himself. But
Another
listen, man.
layer. That's another layer that I just thought about just now.
Mhm.
Even though he is the second villain of the movie, there's even some redemption in him. Because at the end, when she takes out old boy, she pows dude at the door that got the $1 billion and immediately was murdered. He was okay. So yeah, the only way to finish this thing off is I have to take my life, so her life isn't completely ruined. Even though it pretty much is, because I
It
don't
is.
see if they do a second one, how is she not going to be charged with
Yeah,
3 murders or whatever?
right.
But he was like, okay. I'm gonna give her a chance. So he swallows the pills, and then in an understandable fashion, he changes his mind. Like, no, wait a minute. I'm not gonna off myself. Like
Hmm.
again, he makes a selfish decision and he
Right.
tries to throw up a pit, but it's too late by then because she made a wish,
Hmm.
which was
Oh yeah,
great.
I forgot about that part. You're
Guys,
right.
I
You're
might go
right.
see this again, bro. I might
Yeah,
just have to go see this
yeah. I
again.
need to
This
because
movie
because
was so good.
yeah,
So
that was
good.
a
And I think
wild.
it's to
Yeah.
kind of tie it into Supergirl a little bit. This is the reason why Supergirl didn't do everything it could do because it didn't have the strength of story.
Mm,
Obsession has strength of story. It's
hmm.
like going into the movie, you knew it was going to be some spooky moments.
Yeah.
You knew that dude was going to make a wish that the girl becomes upset. You know most of the plot,
Yeah.
but even though you
Yeah.
know most of the plot, it still finds ways to get you in ways that you didn't see coming. Especially at the end, where the girl makes a wish, which I didn't see that coming
That
at
was
all.
dope. That was
That
dope.
was that was really dope. And for the moment, they
Mhm.
both obsessed with each other and they happy, and then he died.
Also, too, that movie did a great job. You know, again, it's a horror movie, but not, overly gruesome or monsters, but it gave you just the perfect amount of tension as well. Prime example, the kickback. Everybody there is chilling, having a good time, and she's over here, just laughing extremely obnoxiously, and she's just just doing some wild thing. It's like it's the movie. It's like a constant, steady uphill of uneasiness. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just straight up. It's just step by step by step. It just increases, man. And yo,
It sits in the uncomfortable moments,
very
the
well, very
awkward,
well.
uncomfortable moments. This movie sits in those moments and makes you feel it.
Hmm.
Makes you feel it. Like
It
she
does, man.
recites that poem, which was kind of about incest and the girl sleeping with her brother. And it's like, then
Hmm.
you think about like, wait a minute, oh, she's kind of talking about her. I mean, her and his relationships, because she even said it, it's not consensual. And we don't know whether that was the real version of her or this was the obsessed
Mm.
version of her. But she's
Hmm.
like, this is not consensual. This is not,
Layers,
we're like
layers,
brother and
man.
sister. And
Yeah.
now she has this weird, yo, Curry, come to the front of the congregation, my
Good
brother.
job, dog. Good job.
Good
Now,
job.
I will say this, man.
Okay.
I think he's doing the Texas Chainsaw as well, right?
Okay.
Here's my issue with that. That movie has been remade
Like five
at
times.
least 10 times. You know what I'm saying? At least 10 times,
What
man.
is
I don't know how many more. I don't know how much gas that franchise has. I would
Yeah.
love for him to do something, another original IP. That's what I want to see him do. You know what I'm saying? But clearly, he got a bag to do that. I wonder what he's going to do with it. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
man,
But
all the best to him, man. But I don't see how you can top that. I hope he doesn't become a victim of his own success. I hope he don't become a
yeah,
M. Night Shyamalan, right?
yeah, man.
Chasing the success of that first movie and never making some entertaining movies, but never quite living up to the Sixth Sense.
I will say this, man. M. Night did have some great movies beyond The Sixth Sense. You know, he had
I
what was
like
his?
Devil. I
I
thought
like that
Devil was
one.
cool.
Devil was a nice contained movie. Uh, yeah. Well, The Village. I hated The Village. I hated
Oh
The
my gosh.
Water.
I thought not sightings. What was it? Signs. I thought signs was cool.
I hated Signs,
I
dog.
gotta see.
I
See, I don't, this is the
hated
thing about
Signs,
signs. I
man.
like how they tied everything together at the end, but I don't know
Yeah.
if it was a cool tying everything together or if it was
Mhm.
cheesy. Because I was like, well, how was I when that movie came out?
Dad, I'm
23.
thirsty.
I want to see it now. I wish I could see it now for the first time at 42. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Under
Yeah.
the 42-year-old lens
Yeah.
and see how I feel about it. But I liked it at the time, man.
I like his his movies with Bruce Willis,
Oh,
and
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable, Mr.
Mr.
Glass,
Glass.
and Animal. I love all them joints right there. I thought those were good to watch, man.
Yeah.
Um, what was it? His other movie? The one about the grandparents. The kids are staying with the grandparents for the weekend, but they're
I
not
never
the
saw it.
grandparents. That was all right.
It was
The
alright.
island was just okay. That was the one where, group of people get sent to an island, but if they go too far on the beach, they get old really quick. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't
It was
see that
cool.
one. I thought the cabin was had its moments. The
I like
cabin.
I like the cabin.
Oh, the
I
cabin
like
was
that
cool.
joint, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the cabin. But now do you think he might have a career that might be similar to Peele?
As far as okay, so
Horror
he made
movies.
one joint that's outstanding, and then the other ones was kind of living up, trying to live up to that.
Yeah. Because
I think it kind of, I think it kind of has to be because if I had to put money on he was going to make another masterpiece
mhm,
like this, I would be willing to bet a significant amount of money that the next movie is entertaining. I might even say it's good, but
mhm,
to be to the level of obsession where you just didn't see it getting to where it is,
yeah.
I would bet against that.
'Cause it's hard, man, when
Yeah,
again, man, he made this movie for under
under a
a
million.
million dollars.
Hmm.
And it almost made 500 million. Like, and then too, what was so special about this movie? I think for like 2 weeks straight after it came out, it made more money week after week. Like that doesn't happen in Hollywood. Normally, movie starts at a high, it goes down a little bit, and then it goes down by like 50%, then
Yeah.
about 60, 70, 80, and then you put it on streaming. You know what I'm saying? So you could kind of, recoup some money back. But man, what he did with this movie, dog, it's like, listen, man, this movie, Backrooms, it's like, man, these young kids, man, like this is our future. These young kids from YouTube put in their visions, having somebody bankrolling their visions, man, and just seeing it being observed and being praised for just the execution, like that's dope to me.
Mhm.
That's so dope to me because we're seeing a different worldview through the eyes of kids that really they spend most of their lives on social media and they're using that on the big screen, and it's done well,
And
like
it's like, bro,
extremely well.
you like 26?
He's young,
How
dumb
do
young,
you
man.
understand something at 26 that these 55, 60-year-old people who have been around Hollywood,
Hmm.
screenwriting, and it's been done all of this for decades, and they can't understand that story is everything. Like the moment in Obsession, dang, what part of the movie was it? It was a part in Obsession where oh,
Oh,
The
real quick.
part what?
Steven Spielberg was 26 when he made Jaws.
Oh, okay. Well,
And that was his masterpiece, but he went on to have a long career. And now all his movies was great, but he had some bangers though.
I would say he's made better movies than Jaws. Jaws is a classic, but I wouldn't say
Yeah.
that was his best movie. So it can
Hmm.
happen. It can happen, especially if you get enough shots at bat, enough
Yeah.
attempts at bat.
Hmm.
Another chilling part of the movie is when they were setting it up, and I didn't know how they was gonna play it out, but it played out really well. The part where Bear's in the car and he calls customer service for the willow stick or whatever.
Yeah, that was dope.
When I tell you chilling, because
Hmm.
he's talking to this dude, and this dude is you expect the guy to be like, "Come on, bro, it's a joke. This stuff ain't real, man." He's like, "Nah, this is real, and it happens all the time. And sometimes, depending on what somebody wish for, sometimes they're happy with it. Sometimes
Hmm.
it turns out murderous. Like, you might just want to kill yourself." He's like, "What?" He's like, "What?" And then you hear the girl screaming in the back to reel her. I
Yeah,
was
man.
like,
That was
"No."
wild, man.
I'm not
Like,
going to see that
yeah.
movie again. I'm not.
That
I'm
that
done.
that was chilling.
I'm not going to see this
That
movie
was
again.
chilling, man. It's funny because I remember when the trailer came out, you know, I remember that scene. And the voice was from Barker himself, but I think in the movie they put some modulation on it to make it sound a little bit more creepier, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But let me ask you this now. What do you think are the chances that Indy Navarrete will be nominated for her role?
If there's any justice in the world, and the fact that we are now in July of the year, and I want to say
Hmm.
award season, I think maybe October is the cutoff. October, maybe November is the cutoff for the year.
Hmm.
I think I to be nominated, I think you just have to, I think there's normally what 4 or 5 nominees, something like that.
Yeah.
If you're gonna tell me that she's not worthy of at least one of 5 slots for like best actress or best supporting actress in a movie or thriller or whatever, I would be like, nah, because her acting made the movie, bro. She played that role so well. Like the terror on her face, the
Yeah, man.
screams. Like that's why, like, anytime I haven't seen nobody, but you say you saw somebody talking about the acting wasn't that good, which is,
Hmm.
I think that's insane. I think everybody knocked their part of the movie out. Maybe that one dude, Bear's friend. I'm not gonna say he was horrible or nothing, but his stuff was kind of like whatever. But I mean, I think everybody else knocked their role out, and the lead actress, I think she should be nominated for an Academy Award.
You see, Toni Collette, who was in the movie Hereditary, which was another horror movie, she won some awards for her role in,
Okay.
in in that movie. So you're right. If there is justice with the award shows, they got to nominate Indy because this being like her first big movie role, because she was in, I want to say Lois and Clark, that TV show, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And some others, small roles, whatever, man. But yeah, man, like, yo, if she gets nominated, man, that's just gonna put her on a whole nother sphere. But I think she deserves it because she sold that role,
She
man. It
did.
was like the
She made
moments
it.
when she would like snap out of it, like what's going on? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like you felt it. You felt it. It felt real.
Yeah.
Somebody that's like trapped in their own body. But then whenever it switches and the faces that she was making, it's just, oh man, it's that movie is special, not just because of the horror, but just the execution of it all is special.
Flawless execution.
There you go, man.
For
There
sure.
you go. But that's all I got, man. Listen, folks, thank y'all again for watching the podcast this special Sunday. But yeah, Arya, what do you guys say to the good folks out there?
Y'all be safe out there. Thank you for watching. Let us
Yes.
know in the comments what you thought about Obsession.
Hmm.
What do you think about the Young Miami and India Ari Tiff? Like, let us know what you think about that. Also, if there's any other movies or TV shows you want us to review, Put them in the
Let us know.
comments and make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and all of that good stuff. Until next time, I'm Arya the King.
I'm Big G, the bearded one.
Y'all be good.
Peace. All right, man. Good show, man.
Show.
I'm gonna have it sent to you shortly. I'm about to
Okay.
go grab me a bite to eat. Until the next episode. Yay, 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 yay.
Yeah, yeah.
Smoke every day. All right,
Hell
man.
yeah. All right, man.
Peace out.